I'm Jay Skyler, Deputy Director of the Diabetes Research Institute at the University of Miami Miller School of Medicine.
And I'm Gregg. I'm the CEO of Dexcom. Well, there's been an effort by what I consider to be rogue or cowboy programmers that have taken the data stream from the receiver, the G4 receiver, and created an algorithm that they can display that on a Pebble watch. Basically, they hack our receiver, port it to a phone, and then utilize the Bluetooth capability of the phone to the Pebble watch. Our concern from an industry standpoint is this is unvalidated, unverified software. And so without having that type of validation verification, number one, they're avoiding the rigors that FDA puts industry through to ensure the safety of patients. And that's really the basic concern that we have, is that they are putting patients at risk. And that's fine if you want to do that to a child or a loved one, that you make that decision. But when you're porting that information and know-how to others, we have a concern over not only the safety of the patient, but also the liability that comes along with having unvalidated, unverified software in the universe.
No, I haven't had any patients who've tried to do that yet, or at least they haven't told me about it.
Yeah, the G4 share system was recently approved by the Food and Drug Administration, and this allows the first step in connectivity of taking the information from the G4 receiver, putting it into a cradle that has Bluetooth LE chips that communicates actively to either an iPod Touch or to an iPhone, and then we created an app that can be downloaded on follower iPhones. Up to 5 different people can remotely monitor the patient and what they're seeing on their G4 receiver. So this is, as I mentioned, the first step towards that open connectivity. This will then allow us to go into our G5, which is the next generation, which takes the information from the receiver, the so-called glucose engine, and we embed it into the transmitter itself, which is body-worn. And then that opens up that connectivity to obviously cloud capability, but also through push notification down to an iPhone to begin with. Obviously, we'll create apps for Android systems, including a variety of different Bluetooth-enabled watches.
Well, I think this is something that will really help patients with type 1 diabetes. I saw a woman the other day. She's in her 70s and lives alone. And at one point she had her daughter showed up at her house because she couldn't get her to answer the phone, and they had to call paramedics, and her blood sugar was 14. This kind of thing will allow her to communicate her ongoing blood sugars to her daughter, who can be alarmed when the blood sugar is dropping either at a rapid rate or reaches a particular threshold, so that she can contact her mother to take action upon it, to have food intake, or she can go to her mother's condo to take care of that. And for parents of children, this will be particularly helpful. They can be able to follow their child at school, in playgrounds, and at night. They can do the at night, and some of this already if they use the cradle that was approved, but this will make it so much easier for them, and so you can really keep tabs on things. I have a number of people where I see helicopter parents who are hovering over their kids all the time and coming by and you know, trying to check every detail all the time. This will give them the ability to do that more. They'll still probably helicopter, but they'll do it more remotely, so they don't have to disturb the child at the time, and they can do it from their bed in the middle of the night and be alarmed when things are really needed for them to take action. So I think it's going to be a fantastic advance that will help in the management of diabetes to allow us to avoid severe hypoglycemia, which is the biggest thing that patients worry about. At one point, I would always say that, you know, parents of children with diabetes go to bed every night worrying that their child will not wake up the next morning. And, you know, this really goes a long way towards solving that problem virtually completely.